All right, what is good, ladies and gentlemen, is the Master Reviewer back again with another review, and today we are doing a review for Role Models. This is a movie that I saw on Netflix, and I want to, first of all, just apologize to anyone that might be waiting for me to, I did say, a lot of people have been leaving recommendations, which I do appreciate, but I haven't been getting to them. It's because of the way my schedule works, so I will say, they're coming soon, I promise. It's just the way my schedule is. It's like I'm watching a lot of new movies instead of rewatching old ones that a lot of people have been recommending me to watch. So, as in they've been recommending me stuff, and it just happens to be movies I've already seen. So I'm not, I haven't been doing more I've been doing more new movie watches rather than rewatches lately. So just clarification. Anyways, I am recording this after the fact because I almost forgot to mention I want to give a thanks to the new subscriber. The subscriber count went up from 23 to 24, so I just want to give once again a thanks to any newcomers watching the content. I hope you're appreciating it. I hope you are appreciating the content, and I greatly appreciate the sub. So yeah, once again, anyone new watching, thank you, and I hope you're appreciating the content. Back to the video. So we are doing a review for the movie Role Models, which came out in 2008. It stars Paul Rudd and Seann William Scott, and so I watched it, and yeah, let's just get into it, starting off with the plot. So the plot is basically you have these two guys, Danny and Wheeler, and they work at, they have this job where they drive to middle schools and schools, and they basically tell kids that drugs are bad and stuff, and to take this Minotaur drink instead of taking drugs, which is equal, probably worse for them based on how they represented it. And so they, Paul Rudd's character, Danny, he is very tired of his job. He does not like his job at all, and so he just snaps one day after he tries to shake things up with his girlfriend. He tries to propose to her, but then she, because of how negative he has been the past 7 years that they've been together, she dumps him on the spot, and so he just snaps, and not snaps, but at the next school event he goes to where he's supposed to tell kids that drugs are bad, he does a terrible job, and then he ends up crashing his car into the school statue. So then he ends up getting the choice between going to prison for 30 days or volunteering to help kids out with kids that need help or something like that, kids that need a role model basically. So that's what they end up doing. And so you have Wheeler's character who gets paired up with a kid, Ronnie, and you have Danny's character who gets paired up with a kid, Augie. And so the movie is basically them they're basically they bond with the characters and stuff, and throughout the movie it's they progress as characters and they become better characters because of their bonding with these kids that they are working with. So, and then by the end of the movie it's they end up they become better characters. You have Paul Rudd's character Danny goes through this arc of not being so negative and not being the whole thing. The themes of the movie are basically don't be selfish, care for others, and also it's okay, enjoy what you like in life. Don't let other people shame you into not liking what you enjoy in life. So those are it's good themes, it's good messages for the movie. So yes, anyway, the plot I would give I would say a 7 to a 7.5. I would say it's between pretty good and very good, and I'll be generous, I'll give it a 7.5. I thought it was a very good plot. I enjoyed it. I liked the bonding between the characters. So let's just move on to that. The characters, I thought that Paul Rudd, he does play a very negative character in this film, which I haven't seen up to this point. I've seen Paul Rudd in the Ant-Man movies. What else was he in? He was in Parks and Recreation, right? I'm pretty sure he was for a bit. Other than that, he was in the Ghostbusters movies, which, by the way, he does actually reference Ghostbusters, which is an interesting reference to see. So yeah, I think that Paul Rudd's character, he was negative, which, to be honest, I didn't really like too much. I did I like the transformation of his character, but at the start when he's all negative and stuff, I did find it a bit annoying. So other than that, he does progress throughout the movie and he becomes a better character, which was good. Seann William Scott's character, though, Wheeler, he was great. He was my favorite in the film. I liked him a lot. He ended up getting paired with Ronnie, who's this terrible kid that everyone ends up quitting on him the first day, but he, because he doesn't really have a choice, he stays with the kid, and they end up bonding over their appreciation of women, we'll call it. So they end up, yeah, so it helps with his character. He learns to also become less selfish because thanks to his time with Ronnie and stuff. You have Augie, played by Christopher Mintz, something, I can't read the full name here. I don't think I can unless... no, okay, it doesn't show the full name, but Christopher Mintz something, I forgot, something with P at the end, his last name I don't remember, but he's a good actor. He was in Superbad, that is what I know him from, and he was good in this. He plays this very, nerdy character, not nerdy, more I don't know the term, there was some comedy skit that someone did a while ago between a difference between nerd, dork, and geek, and I don't know what he would be. He's really into the fantasy stuff and the role playing and stuff, so yeah, so he ends up, so Danny's character ends up getting paired with him, and through that he learns to be less selfish and also like care for him, and like he ends up going for it. He ends up having dinner with like Augie's parents' house, and then he realizes that his parents are like very unsupportive, and they think that he's like very his interests are not, or like they're embarrassing for him to have. So, but then he sticks up for him. But Danny, he ends up saying like, no, this is, if it makes you happy, do what you love and stuff. So that was good. So other than that, you have Gail, who's like the one that's in charge of the whole. I think it's called I forgot the name of the organization, but it's basically she's in charge of the organization of like the parents working, not parents, but the role models, like the bigs working with the littles. That's what they call it in the movie. So she's in charge of that organization that is basically helping Danny and Wheeler with the community service. So she's good. She is played by Jane Lynch, and I don't know what I've seen her from, but I've definitely seen her in some stuff, and she is a good actress. So other than that, you have Ken Jeong. He's in this. He plays King Ergotron, and he was good. It's always nice to see Ken Jeong. He's a very good actor, and I like watching him in any productions that he's in. Other than him, you have Esplin. She's a bitch. She's like kind of the love interest, I guess, for Augie, so nothing too much to say about her. Other than that, you have, I guess, Jim and Augie's parents. I guess they were very unsupportive, so I didn't really like that about them. Like they didn't support it, like his interests and stuff. So that was you know, like I didn't really like their characters were fine, but it's just I didn't like, you know, they were mean to Augie. So yeah, I didn't like that. So so in terms of the characters, I will give probably the characters I'll go with I'll say a 7.5. I think they were very good. I thought that, 7.5. I think that is what I'll give it. In terms of the settings, there's nowhere really to point. I guess the most interesting setting was like the role-playing area with like, which was like in the forest and stuff. So that was kind of cool. I guess I did like all the like everyone. They did get a bunch of like very cool costumes and stuff for the role players to wear and stuff. So that was cool to see. Other than that, the settings are basically just the schools at the start, I guess, like the I don't know, the coffee shop. Like there's nothing too much to say about the settings. So the most interesting one, I guess, was the role-playing area. So I'll give the settings a 7 out of 10. I'd say pretty good, but nothing better than that. In terms of the comedy, there was nothing too funny, to be honest. Nothing like really made me laugh or anything. So I wouldn't say like there aren't really. This is definitely like this is not like a wonderful comedy movie or anything. It's enjoyable. It's like you're watching this more so for the plot, less so for the comedy, I feel like. But like it is a comedy movie, but I don't know, the jokes, they weren't like some of the best I've ever heard or anything. So I'll give the comedy I'll give it like a 5.5. I'll say decent. Like, the comedy is definitely not the strongest aspect of the film, I'll say so. In terms of the drama is basically like Danny and Wheeler, they have to get their hours in order to be able to avoid jail time, and so the drama basically comes with like, what'll happen like after they end up messing up, and it's like Ronnie and Augie's, like their parents don't want them to get involved with them and stuff, and like obviously like Danny kind of gets Augie kicked out of the role-playing area, so that's part of the drama, and Wheeler ends up leaving Ronnie. Like Ronnie ends up having to walk home from a party that Wheeler took him to, because Wheeler was he was banging. So yeah, that happened. So in terms of the drama, it's basically just comes from like the relationships, how they changes between like Danny and Wheeler and like the characters that they interact with. So I'll give the drama and also towards the end, where it's like the final battle royale between Lair and stuff, and Augie getting winning. He doesn't win in the end. I think it's what's her name? Esplin. I think her real name was Sarah, but she ends up winning in the end. So in terms of the drama, I will go with I'll go with a 7 out of 10. I say the drama, it was pretty good, I'd say. So in terms of the worst thing, I think the worst thing was is there a worst thing? I'm not sure if there's really a worst thing. I guess I wouldn't really say there's a worst thing per se. So yeah, there's nothing really. I'm thinking right now really hard to see if there's anything that I didn't like really, and I wouldn't really say that there's anything I didn't like. So I guess I'll just reuse the lowest score, which was the comedy. So a 5.5. So another 5.5, I guess. In terms of the best thing, I'll say the best thing was probably Wheeler's character. I did like Wheeler's character a lot. I think that he was a great character, honestly. I would give him, and honestly, Wheeler's bond with Ronnie, that was like the most interesting bit, and I like that more than like the whole bond with Danny and Augie. So Wheeler's bond with Ronnie, I will give an 8 out of 10. I liked it. It was great, I would say, and so yeah, that was the best thing in my opinion. Some extra notes before I do the calculations. I don't get the logic, like these people were gonna go to jail to get arrested, so why would you have them be helpers for like these kids? That seems like, why would it, like, that seems like a bad idea on paper, so I don't know what the logic was there. I wrote this down, I used to volunteer at the daycare. For high school, I had to do like volunteer hours in order to graduate, so I did actually, I chose to volunteer at a daycare because For one, I had a brother that went there, and so it was also really close to my house. It was like the closest thing that I could do for volunteer work. I hated it. It was very annoying. I got assigned to like, I think, third grade, and they're not fun to deal with. They're just they're really messy. It's like, I'm not gonna start ranting about the time, but I spent there. But they're really they don't listen. They know a surprising number of curses for their age, which like I don't think I knew as many curses as they did when I was in third grade. So not fun dealing with kids. So I do sympathize with, I guess, Wheeler, because that is tough to do. It's a tough thing to do, to deal with kids. So not fun. Anyway, any other notes of? I wrote, in this world, I don't have to be me. Yeah, so that was a good line from Augie's character. He says that to Danny, and that was like a deep quote. Like, it did a good job of like portraying like him as a character, like where it's like he doesn't like how he doesn't like how he is in like the real world. So it's like he uses this as a form of escapism. So I thought that was good for his character. Once again, the bonding between like Danny and Augie was very nice, very good, and the bonding between Wheeler and Ronnie was even better. So I liked all the bonding between the characters. And yeah, that is pretty much all the extra notes I have. So I'm going to do the calculations. So King Crimson. All right, so it ends up coming out to about a 7 out of 10, which would be pretty good. And I would probably, I would give it a bit higher, I'd say. I think, honestly, between a 7 to a 7.5, I think is between pretty good and very good. And I think I would leave it at that. I don't think I would give a solid 7.5. Yeah, I think I would just give it between a 7 to a 7.5. I think it's between pretty good and very good. So yeah, that is pretty much all there is to it. If you have any, once again, I do want to apologize. Within this week, I do think I will get back to like getting out. Like, I know right now it's just like mainly just movie reviews, but I do want to like preface that I will be getting back to like some other content. Like, I'm gonna try to do some more comparisons. I'm gonna try to get some show reviews out. I think I'm almost done and ready to release some of those again. And I am gonna hopefully. At some point, I might like actually here. I think the first Mass Rancher video I might end up releasing might be just a rant about my schedule and how it works and stuff, because it is something that I feel like could be fun to talk about, and like how it has evolved over the years, because it is interesting to say the least. And I don't know, it works for me, but it does end up changing a lot, and it does lead to times like this where I end up only well, like how it is now, where it's I end up doing one thing longer compared to like some of the other stuff that I could be doing and stuff. Anyway, that's not for this video. So I will be getting back to like the rewatch and stuff, all the recommendations. I'm on it. Don't worry. It will be coming, and the shoutouts will be coming hopefully soon as well. So yeah. So if you have any recommendations, any shows, movies, video game stories, anime, web series, anything that you want me to review, leave it in the comments, and I will maybe possibly check it out. But with that said, that is pretty much all there is to it. So let's leave it at that.